I've been asked to discuss exactly why I've been on a grain-free diet for the past 10 months. Ugh. I've been on a grain-free diet is because I had inclinations, I had hunches from everything I've studied in relation to the mucus diet healing system, in relation to people with food intolerances, in relation to even things I've seen in the carnivore community where people are saying that one of the main reasons they went onto that lifestyle was because they couldn't digest all these grains and heavy wheat products and glutinous products and bean products. So I thought to myself, let me give this a go. Me personally, I'm not new to doing like a fruits, vegetables, potato-based diet because I did the potato diet many years ago. And I remember even during the period whenever I did that, I remember thinking to myself, wow, I'm actually experiencing a lot of benefits, like more energy, digestion feels great, and my skin is a lot clearer than it normally is. So I'm no stranger to it. Plus, I live in Ireland, so if someone was ever to say to me, oh, you can't just live on a fruits, vegetables, and potato-based diet, I would look at them strange. I would like at them as if they've never actually heard of Ireland, or they've never heard of Okinawa, where the blue zones are, where 70% of their diet is sweet potatoes, or Papua New Guinea, where they were studied back in the day to have up to like 90 plus calories coming from potatoes. In December time, knowing I was going to embark on this journey, I remember ordering like 3 pizzas or something like that from a local shop, local restaurant here in Northern Ireland. And I remember just chowing down, being like, oh my God, it's gonna be the last time I have any form of grains. And that's exactly what I've done. So for the past 10 months, all I've been consuming is potatoes, all types of potatoes, sweet potatoes. I've also had yam, but I'll talk more about that in another video. I've had all vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, salads, smoothies, juices, and that's it. Me dealing with chronic boils and chronic issues like that I was dealing with before in the past, I kept on asking myself, how do I make this less frequent? Because whenever you're coming from a history of getting boils all the time, and then you start noticing that every iteration that you make, the frequency reduces, the question that lingers on my mind is, okay, how can I get this to never happen? You know, some people, they've got clear skin, but every once in a while they may get a spot, they may get a pimple or something like that. And some people, that spot and pimple is maybe once every month, once every 2 months, once every couple of weeks, etc. So sometimes people get acne, but the frequency is a lot longer in terms of whenever they get it again. So I kept asking myself, okay, at every iteration, cutting out the meat, cutting out the dairy, okay, frequency reduces. Cutting out the oil, frequency reduces. Cutting out the high-fat plant foods, the nuts and the seeds, frequency reduces even more. Cutting out the gluten, frequency decreases even more. So I kept on asking myself, what if with grains? What if with beans? And that's why I let go of beans like a while ago because of this. And then I was like, rice is a seed, the same way a bean is a seed. So I was like, let me let go of this. Let me let go of this year, just to experiment. What's 1 year in the lifespan of a human being? So that's exactly what I've done. So what are my findings? So my findings so far is exactly what I hypothesized, that the frequency will reduce even more, and it has. This is the most infrequent I've ever dealt with skin issues in my whole entire life, until I can actually remember from whenever I started getting chronic boil issues. This is the least frequent it's ever been. And I'm not the sort of person that I'm not gonna go too crazy. Like every time I get a acne problem, I'll S shit on the calendar. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not like that. Okay, so I'm not that freaking sophisticated with it, right? But from just observing the past 10 months, this is the least it's ever been. I've never had so much confidence in my body's ability to not give me skin issues. Like, this is the most confident I've ever felt. And my energy's clean. I'm still eating abundantly, still eating high carbs, still eating lots of fruits, vegetables, lots of tubers, etc. Still doing mucus-free days, sometimes raw days. Today is currently a fully raw day. Feeling amazing. The zing. So this has been this has been one of the most valuable things I've done in my whole life. One of the most valuable things I've done in my whole life. And some people may be looking at this and be like, oh, you crazy. But you have to understand, from having this chronic boil issues that I was suffering with in the past, to nobody knowing or understanding what it was. Doctors didn't know what it was, what was causing it. Nothing online was really talking about it, because what was it? I didn't even have a name for it up until this year. So for me, this is one of the most valuable things I could ever do, because I know for the rest of my life that I don't have to freaking deal with this shit. So to the person out there, or the version of me that's like going through it every single week, every single day, etc., just realize that you can get to this stage. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work for you, but this is definitely working for me. So I just want to share that. Everything else in terms of my energy, like how I feel, my performance in the gym and working out, etc., everything like that has felt very similar, consistent, strong. But the frequency in these skin issues is, oh my God, this is the least it's ever been. This is the least it's ever been. And again, I can't say I never get any like issues. Like I'll never get like a little spot here or a spot here or something like that. But I really don't even care about those like little ones. It's the big, awful, painful ones that are like, ugh! And I can just say that this is the best it's ever been. So from my experiments, and as well, I do feel like I'm leaner. I've also done other things, in terms of I've stopped consuming salt, which is something that, if you got me a year ago, 2 years ago, and you say, bro, you're gonna actually like let go of salt for a year, I would be like, you're mad, you're crazy. But honestly, this year I've let go of salt completely, and that's been really transformative. I'll get into that in another video. But all I'm saying in this video is 10 months on fruits, potatoes, vegetables only. I'm still able to train, still able to work out, still able to build muscle as I've been in the gym working on that. Currently taking a break because I got a bit of a niggle. So, but yeah, everything has been great. But I'm not surprised. Look at people in Papua New Guinea. Look at people in Okinawa. Look at how the Irish thrived back in the day. This is not a weird anomaly that you can do this. And I know there's people out there, I've got a dairy intolerance, I've got a nut intolerance, I've got a soy intolerance and stuff like that. And you've got a gluten intolerance. You can't. There's all sorts you can't eat. I just want to be a beacon of light. It's like you can have a normal functioning life and actually still operate in this way. People in these countries and nations have ate these potato-based, fruit, seasonal, vegetable-based diets for a while. And if you want to go even deeper, human beings are frugivorous, herbivorous. Whoever put us on this earth, whatever you want to call the force, the entity, never even designed for our species to cook these foods and eat them. The fact that we can, may have helped us in humanity and stuff like that. But recognize that our physiology is probably telling us bit by bit, we need to move away from all these other crazy foods and return back to fruits and vegetables, because this is what primates have ate for millions and millions and millions and millions of years. According to research, 55 million years. So I just want to wrap up this video. Letting go of grains. I'll do more videos on it. Letting go of grains. So far, one of the best things that I've ever done. So I was doing gluten-free before, but now grain-free, I can actually say that this has yielded me better results. And it may yield you better results too. For someone who is still struggling, maybe with digestive issues with heavy grains and beans, which Dr. Goldhammer stated that there's going to be people out there who just don't get on with grains and beans. They just don't. That's why you get groups of people like they're a celiac. They just don't do well with gluten. They just don't do well with gluten. So with that being said, what are your thoughts? Am I crazy? This Papua New Guinea fruitarian, Okinawan sort of style diet? Let me know. Peace.